Hello everybody, today I'm going to be going over how to increase your turn speed on the Rubik's Cube. So turn speed is essential in last layer algorithms, which are called OLL for orienting the top layer, and PLL for the permutation of the last layer. So OLL algorithms are like this, where the top layer is not solved yet, and you want to do one or two algorithms to solve it, and PLL is like that. So if you have a slow turn speed during that, since you're doing two algorithms, it can add up, and it can have a pretty big impact on the time of your solves. And a way to increase your turn speed is to use optimized finger tricks. So for example, with a T-perm, which most people should know if you do PLL, is like this. And if you have optimized finger tricks, you can have no regrips at all, like that. And that's by using the pinch U move and the F prime with the thumb push. But some people, they start off with a regrip like this, and then they regrip again. But the second regrip doesn't really affect you that much, because while you're regripping, you're doing another move. But it's really the first regrip, because when you do the first regrip, you have to extend your fingers and then close them again to catch onto the layers. Because if you don't extend your fingers, you'll just end up turning, because your fingers will catch on the corners of the cube. So regrips take a lot of time because you gotta dodge the corners of the cube and then regrip onto the cube. And this is why starting off in home grip and learning all of these advanced finger tricks from home grip are very essential in this, to do faster algorithms instead of, for example, on a J-perm, instead of doing that, regripping, and then finishing it off, you can just do it all in one motion. And then same with, say if you do M2 or just M move algorithms, you got to learn how to do the M2 move, which is by flicking your ring finger and then your middle finger on the back of the M layer, like this. And that's very useful during M2 algorithms, like an H-perm, for example. And it makes it a lot faster. If you do it with single M flicks, you go, messed up actually. So it doesn't really work that well. And that's why you always want to learn how to do double flicks with both fingers. I only do M moves with my right hand, so I don't know how to do them that well with my left hand. But you should know double flicks for both hands on U2, D2, and those two are really the only double flick layers that you need to learn with both hands. And then M2 moves, you can kind of just choose one hand that you want to mainly do your algorithms with, and then do U moves with the other hand, like this, OLL. Like I only use my right hand there. And not only is it regrips and finger tricks, but it's just the turn speed in general, because I can do a J-perm like this pretty consistently and a T-perm like that, and I don't really mess up that often. But to get my turn speed to become faster, then I can just kind of push myself a little bit more and kind of see the limits of how fast I can turn on this cube. So that was kind of going outside my comfort zone, and I was turning probably way faster, even if it's just by a couple hundredths of a second. That counts a lot in cubing. So you really gotta like push your limits if you want to increase your turn speed. And at first you could have a couple of lockups, and that's to be expected. But after a while, after a while, that will eventually become pretty comfortable for you, and then you can consistently do that. And then you can push your limits and kind of build off of that again. And then eventually your turn speed will just keep getting faster and faster and faster on algorithms. And see, like that, I messed up because I was kind of pushing my limits, which is way faster than just doing this. And one more thing is that you always want to just, if you do that and you want to drill your algorithms, you don't just want to do this kind of like 100 times, because that doesn't really help, or do this 100 times, but you actually want to use sets of moves that you would use in solves. Like this, sure, you would use it like for like 1 or 2 F2L cases, but you won't really be using it for anything else. And that's why you want to drill like PLL algorithms, OLL algorithms, and especially if you're learning a new algorithm, then that's a perfect opportunity to drill your turn speed, because that'll help get it into your muscle memory quicker. But yeah, it's mostly just about pushing your limits while turning, and it's okay to have a couple of lockups at first. Like, you do not need to be like timing it, or I mean doing it during time solves. You can just practice algorithms by themselves, and then slowly in your actual solves they'll become faster. And a fun way to do this is to just get a timer, stack my iPhone, computer, whatever you want, and just seeing how fast you can do it. So this is my comfortable, oh, it's a bad example. So this is my comfortable turning speed. Ignore that. But you see I got 0.9 seconds, but I can kind of push myself and go a little bit faster at 0.7. And there I messed up a little bit, but it was 0.6, 0.7 again. And as you can see, it's very fast, or much faster compared to my comfortable turning speed, which is like that, 1 second. But that's kind of pushing my limits, and eventually that'll become very consistent, and it'll just become faster. And you can just do this with any algorithm, like a T-perm. That's my comfortable turning speed, and then that's kind of like pushing the limits. So these are some good training tips and ways to improve your turns per second on the Rubik's Cube, especially during last layer. It's not as important during F2L, just because that could compromise look ahead. But if it doesn't compromise look ahead, then that's good. You should turn faster, but it's not as essential during F2L. So yeah, these are my tips on how to increase your turn speed. If you like this video, please like it, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already.